This is the mysterious Robe Canyon hiking trail. Here's the entrance to the canyon part of the Robe Canyon Trail. Closes at dusk. Well, this trail is right by the highway near Granite Falls. Here's the main trail, and I had seen a shelter right by the road. I've been there 3 times and seen that smaller shelter, but another shelter, which was larger, was close to the road. So I thought I would stop by and check it out and went off the main trail to explore this new shelter. You want to stay on the main trails in this area, but this was clearly a defined trail with footprints on it. In this type of area, be careful where you roam. When I got to the shelter, I noticed it was propped up on a tree that had been placed at the base of a second larger tree. And then there are broken sticks that are leaning against that tree, as in a lean-to. In this area, there were a lot of bent trees, trees propped up in trees, and many broken branches scattered on the ground. A lot of these appear to be fresh breaks, and there had been no storms over the last 2 weeks. Going further down the trail, I found more broken trees. The trail was littered with broken branches. This trail goes right by the highway, but there was a definite blocking tree laid up against another tree. A couple more broken trees, very freshly broken. And then a bent tree. For me, this was an indication not to go further down the trail. When I got there, there were a couple of knocks, another indication not to go down that trail. Turned around and went back towards the main trail. I focused in on a interesting brambly tree, but decided not to try to get there. In the area, there were several large trees that were leaning up against other trees. So these trees had been broken or fallen down. Typically, you don't see a tree leaning into another tree. You can see that the tree blocking the path had not fallen from that area. There was a stick that was leaning on top of a stump and across the log. And I went walking back on the same trail that I had come in on. Always careful not to try to step on any other sticks or branches that were on the trail. This area has a lot of signs of activity, with the broken branches, the shelters, and the footprints. But next, I heard some noises. I'm walking back towards the car, still looking around. And I started to hear some close proximity breathing noises. Then there were 4 knocks to the left. And then came 14 knocks from the same area to the left. My first thought were that these were shots. Typically, you don't hear rhythmic shots. Could be somebody hammering, or it could be a pile driver. It's too closely spaced to be a pile driver, and unlikely that a carpenter or a framer would hammer in a rhythmic manner. And then there were 14 on both sides. This all seemed to be aimed towards me as I was leaving the forest.